Welcome back to the channel, guys. So today we're talking about my concussion and how it's impacted my life for the last 4 years. Just a little backstory. I'm down here at a cabin. I booked an Airbnb for 2 nights. I just needed to get away. My sister passed away recently and I just haven't had any downtime because I've been working and dealing with that and that sort of thing. So this is kind of like a little getaway for me, just to do some journaling, clear my head and make a couple of videos and stuff like that. I wanted to talk about my concussion today because I've gone on a lot of adventures and I think I've mentioned it and a few people have had no idea what I'm talking about. And I think that I want to start bringing a little bit more awareness and incorporate that into my videos, because concussion stuff has a massive impact in my life and it affects me literally every second of the day. Like, it's so bad. How did I almost die? I used to go to Bali every year and go bodyboarding. I used to absolutely love it. I used to surf all the time. I grew up surfing and I ended up going over Bali to a bodyboard camp over there, and they take us out every single day. So we leave at like 5 in the morning and they take us to some of the best beaches and the best breaks on the day. We got to one spot and it was big. I reckon it would have been about 8 to 9 foot, a lot bigger than anything that I've surfed previously. And I thought to myself, I don't know. I said to the guys, like, I might sit out for this one. You know what people are like when you're with them. They're all like, nah, just come out, bro. Like, you'll be right. We'll paddle out into the channel and we just go straight over. Like, you'll be fine. And because, like, I was paying like 160, 180 bucks a day. And I kind of didn't want to waste my money as well. So I thought to myself, okay, let's just go out and sit a little bit further out where the break is. And if it's too big, then I'll just come back in. So started paddling out. And I think I sat out there for a while and everyone was catching waves and I ended up getting one, and you know, that builds your confidence up a bit. And I think I got 2 or 3 more and then I caught one, and because it was a right, I'm not comfortable on going right. I always go left, and that's where I feel more comfortable on a wave. And straight away I just wiped out. And I just remember, like, I'm a pretty good swimmer. I grew up doing squad and my mum was a swim teacher and I used to swim all the time. I'm really confident in the water, but I remember I got thrown that deep and I got thrown around that much that I think I went into a little bit of a panic, because I was like, wow, this is a big break. I haven't been smashed like this before. And then I came back up and I looked up and I just remember just seeing this wall and I was like, shit. So I ended up throwing my bodyboard and I dived under, came back up again, and then I said another set coming in. And because I got asthma as well, and I think I was panicking, my breaths were getting smaller and smaller, and I was getting smaller and smaller, and I was going, and I was really trying to get that breath in, and then I went under again, came back up, and then one smashed me on the head, and then I ended up coming up, and another one, and I thought to myself, there's just no way, absolutely no way I can, like, it's like a split second you make this decision. I knew straight away, because my breath was like, and I couldn't actually get air in to feel like I was getting air. Like, it's hard to explain. And I knew in that point, I don't know why I made this decision, but I think it's just instinct. But I tried to stay as high as I could above water, because I knew I didn't have any breath to actually go down and go underneath, which that's what I should have done. I should have went straight down underneath and then the wave wouldn't have grabbed me. But I stayed really high and I didn't really have much time to react. And I kind of turned and the wave hit me on the head. And I kind of just remember not blacking out, but like I kind of went into, like, it's hard to say, it's like a dream state. Everything was quiet. I was kind of just floating, and I kind of accepted in a way, like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. Like, I just remember being limp in the water. I actually drew a photo. I wanted to get what was in my head out on paper. I just remember being limp, and I remember after, like, laying there in the silence, I kind of like came to it, and like I had all these images in my head of my family and my dog, and they were kind of like up on top of this cliff looking down, and it was like almost giving me a reason to fight, being like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you need to get the fuck up. And I remember breathing water, like going like I remember breathing water. It was absolutely insane. And then once I was fighting to come up and I was breathing that water, I really started to panic then, because I just wasn't getting anywhere. And then I came back up. I just remember screaming to some of the guys, like, fuck, like, help, man, help, 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 I can't breathe, I can't breathe. And there was no sets coming in, which was really good. The guys came over and they helped me get on my board, and we paddled over. And then I realized I had to paddle as far as I could out because sets were coming back in again. So I was stuck out here. And it took me ages to get a wave. Like, I was shitting my pants, man. Everyone was like, you can't be sitting that far out. You're not going to be able to get in. But I was shitting my pants. Like, you have no idea. I almost drowned. Like, I know what it's like to almost die now. Like, that changed my mindset and my life that day. Like, insane. I actually used to get really upset talking about it. I remember I made a video about this at the park about maybe a year ago, and I actually started crying talking about it because of the PTSD on it. But now I've kind of come to terms with it, and I feel completely fine to talk about it. So that's why I wanted to reshare it. Anyway, so I ended up catching the smallest wave, which was still big, back in. I just bus drive straight down, got back in. I sat at the beach for a little bit, and I thought to myself, okay, do I want to go to one of these Bali hospitals, or do I just want to go back to my hotel room and just chill out and sort of monitor myself? And looking back, I wish I just went straight to the hospital, because I was breathing water. I didn't actually know about how dangerous it is to breathe water and stuff like that. So I went back to the hotel room, and that night we had this big dinner with my parents and stuff like that. And then I went to sleep in the middle of the night, and I woke up and I was extremely dizzy. Like, I could not walk. I was hitting walls, I was walking, I was fumbling. I started to panic big time because I've never been this dizzy in my head before, and it was like really, really scary. I tried to go to the toilet. I thought, okay, I'm getting barley belly. I must be getting sick. So I tried to throw up, tried to go to the toilet, and then my anxiety was going up, and I went back to bed, and I fell asleep. Woke up in the morning, and I was feeling fine. Like, I was feeling good. And then I had to go to breakfast with my parents, and we went out. I remember ordering eggs, mushrooms, all the good stuff that I normally get. And then as soon as I ate, I just got this hot flush of just panic attack. I've never had a panic attack before, but my body just instantly was going into like a panic attack. I was sweating, my anxiety was up. I didn't know what was going on in the time because I've never had a panic attack. I didn't really ever have, I've had anxiety my whole life, but not like this. This was just, I've never felt this. Anyone that goes through panic attacks and anxiety, I seriously feel for you. It's just the worst thing ever. I was going through a panic attack, and I just said to my mom, like, Mom, I'm really, really dizzy. I need to go back to the hotel room. Can I have the keys? I've got to go. Like, I can't stay here. And I was panicking, and I was sweating, and thought I was getting sick. So I went back to the hotel, and I laid down for about 6 hours. I got back up, and I was feeling fine again. I went out and ate again. Same thing happened. And then we were flying out the next day, and I remember just being in bed, and my mum and dad were like, we need to fly out today. Are you coming? Like, or are you going to go to the hospital? And I said, no. And I was like, no, I just want to go home. And they're like, look, as long as you just get home, rest up, and then you can go to the doctors or whatever once you get home. That was the worst flight of my entire life. I was dizzy, I was sick. It just dragged on, and then it was just the worst. And then when I got home, I was fine. I think I was fine for about a month. And then I flew over to Perth for my best friend's wedding, and that's where it all kicked off again. I don't know what it was. Maybe the altitude kicked it off again. I have no idea. But after that flight, I ended up staying in the hospital. So I was over there for the wedding. I stayed in bed basically the whole time at the Airbnb until my friend was like, okay, we're doing the wedding now. You got to get changed. I got changed, and I laid back in bed again. And then I literally just got up 10 minutes before I had to be the best man, and I just did my thing. And then as soon as it was finished, I was kind of done. I went straight back to bed, and then I realized, okay, this is serious now. I'm really scared of what's going on. I don't know what's wrong with me. Don't forget, I didn't know this was a concussion. I had no idea what a concussion was, and so I had no idea why I was sick. I thought who knows? Who knows what was going on? But vertigo, allergic to food, nausea, panic attacks, anxiety, all of this is in the circle of concussion, and it can all come into play, like all of them at once. And then I spent maybe, I can't even remember. I thought it was maybe 5 days. So I went back and forward to the hospital, and they had no idea what was wrong with me. They were doing all sorts of tests, and they sent me home. They gave me a Valium one night, and I went back and I was like, guys, I can't get out of bed. I'm really sick. The vertigo in my head is really bad. Please, please, please. And I basically begged them to help me. And they kept me there for like 3 or 4 days, 5 days, I can't really remember. We did a colonoscopy, endoscopy, we did blood tests every day, we did all sorts of things. It was crazy. And then nothing came back. And they were just like, you're perfectly healthy, like there's nothing wrong. And we did chest x-rays, we did everything. And so after that, I went home, and that was when I went to 2 neurologists, I went to immunologists, I went to dietitians because they thought it had to do with something with gut health. The amount of doctor's trips that I've done is insane. The doctors know me really, really well, which is a bad thing. I've spent so much money on just seeing all these different specialists and all these different tests and stuff like that. And then I came across, because I was doing so much research on all this sort of thing, I came across a website called Sydney Concussion Clinic, and they've got this little circle and all the different symptoms that you can have, and all the symptoms literally explained everything I have, like food intolerance, bad vertigo, panic attack, anxiety. I think the whole mental health problems definitely kicked in, and it's not controllable. It's not like, it's just things that I can't control. So I'm trying to think of what else there was, but there's a whole bunch of things that come with a concussion. It's really, really bad, and I don't think many people in the medical industry really know much about concussion. I know there's like Concussion Fix in America who teach the concussion clinic over here, but they don't really know much about how to help and what to do. But I was going to the concussion clinic for a while, and we do a lot of vestibular therapy. I had to get glasses because my eyes stopped working properly, my balance system, that was another thing. And another one is when I get my heart rate up, when I exercise, I get dizzy. So basically, I can't exercise. If I do, I get really sick. So if I push my heart rate too much, it makes me dizzy, and then it makes every other symptom worse. And then I'll be sick for like 2-3 days. I'll have no energy, no appetite. I've got lots of vertigo. So I really need to monitor. When I'm exercising, where my heart rate is and how much I'm doing, because it really can affect me for days. And that's been for the last 4 years. I remember there was a point in my life where I couldn't even walk down the end of my street without being so sick that I need to lay down and go to sleep. It just drains my energy, my focus, my mind, like everything. That was in 2020 all this happened. If I didn't have the lockdowns, that was the best thing that's ever happened in my life, honestly, because I got to stay home and still get paid and deal with this concussion stuff. I think I would have lost my job if I had to go to work and deal with this concussion stuff. I just wouldn't have been able to. So during the pandemic, perfect, I got to stay home. It's taken me maybe 3 years to and then also with the food allergies, you got to remember, I can't eat the right nutrients for my body to stay healthy and keep the muscle that I've got and that sort of thing. So I ended up getting pretty skinny and just malnourished, and because I wasn't allowed to do weights, I did weights for like 8 years. I've always worked in gyms for the last 10 years, and I'd consider myself just, average dude that's just hits the gym. So I feel like my body's quite strong. And then doing 2 years of doing nothing, my muscles deflated, my body got imbalances. I could feel just my body just being so weak. Like, I don't know how people just don't train on a daily basis to stay strong. But so it's taken me another 2 years, so 4 years in total, to sort of, you know, I go in, do one set here, do one set there, and I'm slowly building my body back up, and my food intolerance has gone away now. Not 100%. I still get pretty sick if I eat the wrong thing, but I can get back on the rice. I can get back on. I couldn't eat red meat for a little while, which was a massive, massive killer in my life. My food intolerance has gotten a lot better, and now I'm starting to hit the gym and stuff like that. And then also in a few months, I'm getting my nose fixed so I can breathe properly. Hopefully that's going to fix some of my breathing issues and concussion and stuff. Everything is getting better slowly, but that's the story on everything that I've been going through with my concussion. So that's pretty much everything with my medical journey and my concussion, how I almost died, what I've been going through. I think this video's gone for a long time. But yeah, honestly, I could probably just keep going about this because it's been such a massive factor in my life, just in all aspects. It's like, this is an illness that no one can see. So I look perfectly fine, but in my mind, everything in my head is kind of foggy, and I'm like struggling and vertigo, and it's just like no one can see it. So it's like an invisible illness. It's a big, big struggle. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this video up. That's the story about how I got the concussion. It's pretty wild. If you guys want to know anything else, I can make more videos about this sort of stuff. I do want to bring it in and introduce this stuff more into my videos because I feel like it's just such a big part of me at the moment. And I'm a little bit more, I feel like I've got a lot more challenges to overcome on these hiking adventures than just a normal person going on a hike. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, I'm going to leave it here. I appreciate you guys watching if you did stick all the way around. But yeah, this is my journey. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.